thought again. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning, Giora, and how are you today?
I am fabulous today. It looks as if it's going to be raining later on today, but it is right now still a beautiful day.
That's not going to change our fabulousness or your fabulousness, is it? We don't
No,
need the
we're
weather to
always
change
going to
who
be
we
the
are.
same.
Exactly.
Monica, today, perspective. What are your thoughts about perspective? How do you look at it?
I think that perspective is essential when we are making decisions and living our lives and any interactions with people, because there's our own personal perspectives, which is always internal because we can't see ourselves from an external perspective. And then there's the other people's perspectives around us. And then, of course, then there's the world perspectives on things. So it's really important when you're considering anything and you're working in relationships with people to understand the other person's perspective. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, but it's really good to do that. And a little trick that I do is I physically, especially if I'm training people about it or as part of my keynote, I get some people to stand in a different corner of a room. It looks entirely different. It looks entirely different. Try that at home in your own houses. Go to one of your rooms and look at it from a different perspective. It looks completely different. And that's just a good way to remember that everybody does have a different perspective, which is different from opinions. A perspective is the viewpoint that you're coming at, not just what you think, but it's where you come from. It's your origin story. It's your background. It's your experience. What do you think about this whole perspective business, Giora?
I think perspective is really, really important. And as we were talking about it, I remember listening to a great speaker a few years ago by the name of Vin Jiang, an Australian magician speaker. And he was demonstrating that by doing a trick in front of the camera. And then we were all, as we were looking at the video, we were all seeing what he was seeing. And he then showed the trick and he asked us, what do we think? And as the audience, we thought, wow, amazing. And then he said, let me show you everything. And then he took it back to the view of different cameras. And then you could see with a different perspective everything that was happening. And we actually noticed that we missed a lot of things because we were very focused on one specific thing, on the camera view. And I think that this is an important thing for us to remember with perspective, that many times we have our own perspective and we cannot find a solution or we cannot make a decision because we are so focused on what we see. But as we expand, or as you said earlier, we look at it from a different angle, we can then many times see things from a different perspective and then find the solution that we're looking for and make that decision that we want to make.
So absolutely. I can call it the helicopter view is really important. Or because I've got a background in theatre, if you were sitting in a movie theatre or watching a show and you were seeing the whole thing on stage, you would see it differently. And I think being a leader or being a manager, it's so important to understand perspective. You've got to bring that into the equation, particularly when you're working with people before you make those decisions.
That's right. That's right.
About your business, about your life, about anything really. So perspective is crucial. I'll be interested to know what the listeners or the viewers feel about perspective and how they apply it to their everyday life. Have they thought about it when they're making their decisions? Do they look at different perspectives? Go home, go into your room, try one room, look at it from a different perspective. It changes everything.
Yeah. And do they consider other people's perspective when they make decisions? That's really important as well. Fabulous. Monica, perspective. We covered another topic, another interesting topic today.
We sure did in a short period of time. I'm interested to hear what everyone has to think about it. It's a massive topic, but this is just a little Thursday thought to get you thinking. We might have more on this later.
Fabulous. Thank you, Monica, and I'll see you next week.
Sure will. Thanks, Giora.
Bye-bye.